All right, so let's take a look at this real quick. So we're gonna set up a model like this, where we're gonna, based on what we defined over here, we're gonna set up a similar model so that the database can store something like this, right? And then we're going to do this so we can add it to the database. Let's see. Let me see. I think that's it. All right. So I'm going to go to our code. Well, I'll be looking back and forth so that we can see what we got going on. So I'm going to say create another directory, and we're going to call that directory. I'll just do it in here for now, and then I'll clean it up afterwards. But here I'm gonna say here I'm gonna go to file model.js just to get something to work for now, and then maybe we'll come back and we'll clean it up in a following show. So we'll call this, should I call it dictionary schema or dictionary schema? I guess I'll call it dictionary schema. I don't know. And we're gonna say new mongoose dot schema. And we're gonna open that up like that, and we're gonna say so now I'm gonna be looking at economic indicator. And let me copy this whole thing in here actually, so that I can just reference it back and forth. Economic. All right. So now I can, on this screen, I can have this, right? So we're gonna say here, and we're gonna say type. There's gonna be a string. A string is, and we're gonna say it's required. So a string is pretty much just text, right? It's gonna be required. We're gonna say, let me minimize this down here so I can see the bottom. We're gonna say source of data. And we're gonna say type, and it's going to be string again. And I do want it to be required so we can know where our data is coming from. And we're gonna say URL to report. Might not be the best naming convention, I guess, but actually I actually know exactly what it's talking about. So I wonder if we can do, let me see, type, and I can do type URL. Oh, look at that. Let's say that's required as well. I'm really wondering if there's a type of URL from, let me see, Mongoose schema type URL. Is there one? There might be one for it. Yes, there is. I'm with it. So let me go in and add this then. npm install mongoose. Get it out the way now. Type URL. So now if we go into here, let's get rid of that. We're going to say require Mongoose, type URL, and we're going to come here. We're going to say type Mongoose dot schema type or types dot URL. No. Why is that not there? Looks like it should be there. All right, we'll see what happens. Should be there. Unresolved variable. All right, we'll see what happens when we try to run it. Or let's just try to run it. And let me see. Would it be able to run? Okay, so that's still running. All right, let's go here. And I don't like when these show yellow. But we'll see when we get there. All right, so let me go back to here. Definition. Type string required true. And then we have as well example. I think the example is going to be it's going to be like this. I think we're going to do it like that and say something like that. And let's say we go with name. And then we do example. Examples, an example explanation. So by this, I guess it would be like the example type would be like, let's say nursing, and then you'd give an example based on nursing or trucking. So that's what I'm thinking. All right. So let's go to here. It's examples. Let's open that, and then we're gonna say example type and string, and I think the type is going to be required. And then we do example explanation. And we say type string required true. All right, cool. So everything's gonna be required. I think we're good with that. So our schema, I don't know if I'm missing anything. Am I missing anything, Mitch, or your car that we should be including? So we're gonna have our indicator. So for example, this would be like weekly jobless claims. We have the source of data would be the US Department of Labor, the URL that it's coming from, the definition, examples, which we can have multiple examples. I think we should be good. All right. It's not a super crazy API. So let's go back over here. So we need to do, all right, let's do the other part. Const dictionary equals new or equals mongoose dot model dictionary schema, and then we say module dot export equals dictionary. Cool. That's that. Let me see. Cool. So we got that. So now we are going to go back into the main file. We're going to import this. Okay. So we're gonna do this part. There's not gonna be anything returned because we haven't added anything yet. But it's a good start. So let's go back over here. And we're gonna do app.use app.get. So app.get. But there's not gonna be let's go with terms. Or let's say glossary. I don't know. I don't know what to call it the endpoint. I just call it glossary. Who knows? At the end of the day, we're just gonna be serving the data to us anyways. All right, so now oops. We got that. We're gonna say, oh, forgot to add up here. Const. Oops. Jeez. My goodness. Dictionary equals require dot models. Okay. Did I call it model or models? Oh, let me rename that. Refactor. All right, cool. So we got that. We're importing the dictionary. If we come back down here now, we'll say const dot all terms equals await dictionary dot find say return. We're going to add a status over here. 200. Oops, 200. JSON, all dogs. Cool. We're definitely gonna make this a lot cleaner because this is gonna be in its own separate routes file. Like all this is gonna be in its own separate file. And yeah, all this stuff, this connection stuff is gonna be its own separate file, but we're just getting this to work right now. So once we have that working, we should be good. So let's go stop and rerun. And if we were to go to, I guess I could use this. So if we were to go to 3000, first we should get that correct. Then if I did glossary, I should get an empty list. I didn't get an error. See, I got my 200 okay, right? So that's good. That is good. I don't have this authorized here because all right, so I guess it works either way. However, I want this to be, I want it to be inside the API path, right? So if we start again, and we come back over here, if we run now, if we try this again, it should fail because perfect. But if I add API, nice. All right, how much time left? Ooh, I don't think we're gonna make it, but we can continue. And we'll pick this up next week because this is awesome. I want to add a, see, I don't want to add the ID yet because I want to be able to add a new one. So I want to go do post, right? I want to do post. I honestly like kind of do post first when I'm developing this stuff so that I can actually add something to the database. But let's start off with the post, right? So app.post and API/glossary and async. Oops. Async. And now we're going to say const new term entry, I guess, equals new dictionary rec dot body, and then we're going to say const insert term equals await new term entry dot save. So that's going to be adding it to the database, and then return. I guess you want to go to the 201. All right. So let's close that. And let's try to run it again. So we're getting errors. All right, so that's there. So if we go back to our Talent API, oops. All right, I know we only have 40 seconds left, right? But we're gonna actually try this, okay? So let's go to a post, and we're going to be using all right. And we're gonna follow our model. So I should be able to just copy this right here.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
So let me put this on the same line for now. I'll figure that part out after. But we have all of this. And we'll say example type, let's say trucking. And let me get a example. Go to ChatGPT. And how would you explain the weekly jobless claims to can't say. To a truck driver from the U.S. Department of Labor to a truck driver in an easy to understand way. All right. So let's submit that. Let's see what we get. Copy that. And I'm going to paste this right here. All right. So let's see what happens if we go ahead and we submit this. All right. I think we got everything. I probably want to add I'll probably end up adding a added date to the database. But this is our first one. This is our first one. All right. Let's see what happens. What? We got a 201 created. Let's get it. All right. So now we're just going to go back to this one and see if we do a retrieval, if anything comes back to us. All right. Another. What? Would you look at it? Why does this one get an ID? I don't want an ID on this one. I gotta look into that because I don't think we need an ID over here. But regardless, we have our explanation, we have our examples, our definition, our URL. I like it. I like it a lot. And then I'll change this so it doesn't give this little underscore later on. But just getting this initial setup done is amazing. You don't need to have the version on here, all that type of stuff. But this is great. This is great. Cool. Anything else? I think we're good. We're already out of time, so let's go back to full screen. Yeah. Let me guys know what you think. So far, we were able. Let me check this off on my list though of things we were able to do. So we got the database schema done. We haven't started testing the libraries yet. We didn't look at the existing dictionary, but I don't even think we need to look at their existing dictionary anymore. Because we pretty much got it on lock. All right. Let me see. Let's see. So we did the post. Still got to do some cleanup on the post. I'm going to mark that in like an orange. Oops. We got the get, but we still need a lot more work on the get. We also have to get by a single endpoint. So let's see. Get by ID. All right, cool. That one we haven't done yet. And we started building the API, connect the API to the database, and we connect to Mongoose. So let's put that also in orange. Cool. We did a lot.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.